Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are taking a deep dive into what looks like a simple government form, but is actually a pretty complex machine. We're going to build the operator's manual for the IRS's individual taxpayer identification number, the ITIN, so you can get an expert-level view of how this thing really works. All right, let's pop the hood. We're going to break this machine down into 5 key parts. First, we'll look at the ITIN itself, what it's for. Then, the inputs you have to feed it. We'll check out the 3 different ways to submit an application, look at the success and failure rates, and most importantly, find the emergency override switch for when things go wrong. So, first things first, let's talk about the absolute heart of this whole system, the ITIN itself. You really have to get what it is, and maybe more importantly, what it isn't, because that's the foundation for everything else. Okay, so at its core, an ITIN is basically a tool that was built for one and only one job: federal tax processing. It's really just a tracking number. It lets the IRS handle tax returns from people who need to file but can't get a social security number. The whole point here is tax compliance. That's it, period. Now, this is where things get really specific. An ITIN is absolutely not a stand-in for a social security number. It doesn't let you work, it won't get you social security benefits, and you can't use it as a federal ID. This exact misunderstanding is probably the #1 reason applications fail. Getting this distinction right is totally key. Okay, moving on. Like any machine, this one needs the right fuel to run. You gotta get the inputs exactly right, or the whole thing just shuts down before it even gets going. So, there are 3 things you absolutely have to feed into the machine, no exceptions. You've got your Form W-7, that's the application. You've got your supporting documents, think passport, to prove who you are, and then you have the tax return itself. This is the crucial part, because it proves why you need an ITIN in the first place. And this quote, this just perfectly sums up the big paradox that trips so many people up. It feels like a total catch-22, right? You need the number to file your taxes, but you have to file your taxes to get the number. It's a real head-scratcher, a classic bit of bureaucracy built right into the system. So what's the secret? How do you solve it? Well, you file everything all at once. The tax return, with the ITIN field just left blank for now, acts as the reason for the Form W-7. It's a package deal. You're basically saying to the IRS, hey, here's the tax return that proves I need the very number I'm asking you for. So once you have that whole package assembled, you've got a really important decision to make. There are 3 different ways to send it in, and your choice is going to have a huge impact on the cost, how convenient it is, and honestly, the safety of your personal documents. And this table really breaks down the trade-offs. You can mail it in, but you're sending your original passport through the mail, which is a big risk. You could go in person to an IRS office, which is free, but good luck getting an appointment. Or there's the third way, use a certifying acceptance agent. Yeah, it costs money, but they check your documents and hand them right back to you. That seriously lowers your risk and, as we'll see, really helps your chances of getting approved. Okay, so you've picked your path, you've sent your application in, now what? You wait, usually for about 7 to 11 weeks. So, what actually comes out the other side? Let's look at the hard data on how this system performs. The numbers from 2023 are pretty eye-opening. The good news? Almost 900,000 ITINs were assigned. The bad news? Over 250,000 applications got flat-out rejected. Think about that. That means nearly 1 out of every 4 applications fails. This system does not have a lot of room for error. And the answer you get comes on one of 3 official forms. The CP-565 is the one you want. That's a success, you got your ITIN. A CP-566 is like hitting pause. The IRS needs more info. But the CP-567, that's a hard no. You've been rejected, and you have to start the whole thing over from scratch. Now let's connect this back to those 3 pathways. Remember the certifying acceptance agents, the CAAs? Well, the data shows a pretty powerful link here. If you use a CAA, you are 15% more likely to get approved.
That is a huge difference. It's solid proof that getting expert help at the very beginning makes a massive difference in the end.
But what happens when the machine just jams? You know, it's been 11 weeks, you've heard nothing. Or even worse, you're starting to worry that your original passport is lost somewhere in the system. This is when you need to know about the manual override, your direct line to the people actually running the machine.
And look, the stakes here are incredibly high. This isn't just about a delay. This is the part that's honestly a little scary. The system has known problems. In 2023 alone, the IRS actually destroyed almost 8,000 documents because they couldn't get in touch with the applicant. We're talking about people's vital records, just gone. So this brings us to probably the most actionable piece of information we have. You can call the general IRS helplines, sure, but that number in bold, that's the one you want. That's the direct line to the ITIN operations unit itself down in Austin, Texas. Calling that number skips the main phone tree and gets you right to the specialist handling your case. It can save you hours of headache.
So, what's the big takeaway here? It's that the ITIN system isn't just filling out a form. It's navigating a complex machine, and you really need a smart, strategic approach to do it right. Which leaves us with one last question to think about. With a 1 in 4 chance of rejection and some serious risks, is all this complexity just an unintentional barrier, or is it actually designed to be a filter?